Organic ama organic hiyo bottle gani?
Yeah, thank you. My name is Wabwile Simiyu. I'm the Director, Kenya Industrial Training Institute. I want to speak to this subject of industrial training, linkages, partnerships, and opportunities. When we talk about industrial training, we talk about skills development. And in skills development, we have three components. We have the trainee, we have the trainer, and then we have the infrastructure. Under the trainee, in Kitty here, we have quite a number of trades, up to around 6 or 7 types. Our trainees are picked from the open market in Kenya and beyond. Our level of training is beyond the knowledge, skills, and attitude that probably other institutions could be offering. We go beyond that by ensuring that the trainees that we train are ready to work in existing industry without further training. I want to take an example of those who are in the trade of tailoring. Right now, those that go through our training are exposed to an industrial setup in a manner as we expose them to some mini production lines as practiced out there in places like EPZ. Currently, we are partnering with the Bedi Industries. There is just a factory being developed out there, out of this institution. And we have been given an opportunity to train up to 800 tailors for Bedi. Similarly, in another trade like mechanical engineering, we have a collaboration with Kenya Bureau of Standards in welder certification. And when I talk about welder certification, I'm talking about ensuring that a welder that goes through our training is competent enough to do industrial welding, as compared to the normal welding, normally where you are seeing welders doing windows and doors, frames. Our welder will be certified based on particular standards. And these are universal standards. All of you know what KEBS is. KEBS is a standards body, and it subscribes to international standards, things like ISO. So if I may give you an example of the refinery that is about to come up. A refinery is just a plant like any other. It is constructed basically by fitting and fabrication. So Kitty is going to plug into that space by ensuring that all those welders who go through our training have made the standards that are internationally recognized to work in such an environment. And how will we ensure that? Through the certification program that we have with KEBS. I have mentioned that there are 3 components in industrial training. I've just talked about one, about trainees, but then we also have trainers. I have given an analogy, an example where a trainer who finishes their diploma goes to Kenya School of TVET, trains and gets a certificate, a diploma in technical training, and gets an opportunity to train as a teacher, as a trainer in a technical institution. If you look at that trainer, they may not be having industrial exposure, other than maybe the opportunities they had to go for industrial attachment as students. In Kiti here, we have a program where we expose our trainers to industry. Once we have closed, we get opportunities in places and expose them like for 1 or 2 weeks. So that makes them to appreciate what happens in industry, and when they come to train, they actually impart skills that are relevant. And finally, the other component of industrial skill training is infrastructure. Like I had mentioned, Kiti was set up in 1965, that is about 60 plus years ago, with the support of the Japanese government. And most of the machines that we have were of that time. Currently, we have a program where we have put in place measures to modernize our equipment so that it is current. As all of you are aware, once more, technology is a moving target. It keeps on changing every day. So a machine which was made in 1965 may not be relevant to the current industrial needs now. And if we use that to train our trainees, then we will be giving them a raw deal. So we have, with the support of our government, put in place mechanisms to have some little funding year in, year out, so that we keep modernizing our equipment and machines as need arises. Like I have said, if a teacher or a trainer is not well exposed to industry and they come to train, mostly they are using books. You will find that a book was written in 1980 and you are training your trainees based on that material that was for 1980. That technology that was for 1980. But currently, industry have moved. Like right now, we're having things like 4.0. 4.0. 4.0 is something that is up and running now. In 1980, we didn't have something like that. So if you train using those materials, then you will be exposing your trainees to things which actually are not relevant to industry. And that is where the gap is. For us here, we go out, and recently, one of our departments in food and beverage have been walking around to try and ascertain what the industry needs. They have walked to bakeries, they have walked to dairies, they have walked to hotels, just to collect information which will be necessary for us in developing curriculum for short courses.
You can also touch on competition in between maybe like Kiti and other vocational training, like if the one as in the or account government.
I don't think there is any competition between Kiti and vocational institutions that are run by county government. In fact, I could say we do complementary roles. For us in Kiti here, like I told you earlier, we were started in 1965. So we have quite some experience in industrial skills training. And even given the fact that we are under the national government, our endowment level is slightly higher than that of a vocational institution. So you will find that many times those institutions come here for benchmarking. Yeah.
Wito wako kwa wazazi wenye wako na wanafunzi wamemaliza form 4, grade 8, standard 8 na hawana kwa kupeleka watoto wao, and maybe hawana pesa za kwenda universities and colleges?
I would say that Kiswahili, it will be difficult. I speak Kiswahili? Yeah. Kwa wale wazazi ambao hawana uwezo wa kuendeleza watoto wao, na ningependa kuongea haswa kwa wale wenye wanatoka karibu na sisi hapa Nakuru, Unajua roho yangu huwa inaumia sana nikiona shule hapa chini yetu, shule ya secondary iko na watoto kama 3,000 ama 4,000, na najua hao watoto wengi wao huwa nawaona ni wa day school, wanatembea around wakienda nyumbani, lakini wakati wanamaliza kidato cha 4 wanapotea, hawajaenda university, hawajaenda mahali pengine. Ningependa kuambia hao wazazi kwamba shule yetu iko hapa karibu, inaweza kukupea this, financial obligation kama kidogo kama ile yenye ilikuwa ya shule ya day school. They can still come here and be day scholars, and our fees is not very high. So hao wanafunzi wote wenye huwa naona sisi tunaweza kuwa train hapa katika all the courses that might be of their desire. Asante.
Maybe niulize la mwisho kwa what community wenye wako nje wanasemaga maybe courses zenye ziko zinapeanwa na vocational training center and maybe like KITI, mtu ataenda wapi nazo? Tumekuwa tukiona watoto wengine wanaenda nje ya nchi kufanya kazi maybe ya mikono. Certificate zenye mnapeana ni kama courses zenye mtu anaendaga mjengo wanafunzi huko chini?
Hapana, sisi wakati tumekuwa tunafanya presentation yetu hapa, tuliongea juu ya collaborations. Tulisema sisi tuna collaborate na NEC, sisi tuna collaborate na KNQA, tuna collaborate na SIDAC, tuna collaborate na NITA. Na hizo ni institutions za serikali ambazo zinajulikana na ziko certified kufanya hiyo kazi. Na kwa vile tuna collaborate na hao, certificate zetu zenye tunapeana sisi hapa pia ziko na uzito kama huo, na training iko na uzito kama huo. So sisi tunaweza train mwanafunzi, na akishapitia katika masomo yetu kupitia kwa hizo collaborations ambazo nimeongea juu yake, anaweza kwenda ng'ambo na afanye kazi bila shida yoyote.
Yeah. Maybe out here there are people with skills, but they are not learned, and maybe opportunities pass by. So maybe you can explain a little on this part of training programs, recognition for prayer land, and collaboration with Kenya National Qualification Authority.
Wakati tulikuwa tunafanya presentation yetu, tulisema tuna collaborate na KNQA. Na more specifically, we are collaborating on recognition for prior learning. What is that? Tulisema kuna mechanics. Ukienda hapa town, mechanics, tailors, hata kwa soko unapata there is a tailor. Kwa hapo town there is a mechanic. And then there is a carpenter. And then more so they are builders, these bricklayers, masons. They learned the job by apprentice. They don't have any specific paper that they can show. And mostly our employment process starts by paper. Ukifanya application, unatuma karatasi kwanza. There are very few places where you can go, alafu wanasema kujeni, kama nyinyi ni mason, mawe iko hapa, you start laying, and then we make a decision based on what you have seen. Mostly we start with a paper. So we want to formalize these skills that these people have through coming and just trying to give them a small exercise to perform, and then based on that we give them a paper. That paper now will be used now to seek for employment. Yeah.
So maybe I wanted you to wrap up in a nutshell.
Yes.
As KITI, how are you projecting yourself alongside this better ideology? How are you positioning yourself to be able to play a critical role in the transformation agenda, especially the aspect of industrialization?
Thank you. We can project the better place and the affordable housing. When we were talking about better, we talked about our role in better. And better, the bottom up transformation, economic transformation agenda. Kuanzia chini kwa mashinani kwenda juu. Now, when you look at skills training Skills training, wakati tuna train these trainees, we are training those people from the grassroots. And the skills that we are offering them, let's look at one example, welding. Welding is a skill that is used at the grassroots. Let's look at another example of masonry. Masonry is applied everywhere at the grassroots. So if we can empower these youths to have those skills, then we are approaching the bottom of that pillar and trying to lift them to another level. Why am I saying so? I talked about welder certification. I talked about formalizing carpentry into products like panel doors. And if you move out here, you can see examples of those products. Mtaonyeshwa. They are products that are at the same level with what is available at Team Cells, what is available at Ripline. That's same level. So that is how we are plugging into the better agenda. We are empowering youths with skills that are applicable across the country and across various trade skills.